and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP Chat, and if you are not familiar with a WIP Chat, that is a work in process. I am going to be working on a diamond painting. I've been working on this one for a long time now, since June, and it's been off and on. It hasn't been constant, but I only have 3 sections to go here. I have those covered in release paper. I'm going to be working on this section here, and this is a picture of it. So we're already down on the bottom. Thank goodness. I am almost done. It has been fun, but it has also been a little bit draining just because of the colors, and some of these are kind of hard to tell which one or what new symbol that I'm on. But I think she's going to be really, really cute whenever I am finished with her. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn on my light pad because I do better with a light pad. Hopefully it's not too much of a glare today. It is very early on Tuesday morning, and normally I will go ahead and film on either Sunday or Mondays. And unfortunately, I just was not able to do that yesterday. It was the start of our new semester at work, and it was an absolute crazy day. So I was just working from 6 o'clock yesterday morning until about 8 last night, and I knew there was no way I was going to be able to get to a WIP Chat, so decided I'll go ahead and do it this morning. Hopefully I will have plenty of time to get it edited and uploaded for you guys, so it will be on timely. What I'm working on now on this section is the symbols look a lot alike. I mean, well, the symbols don't, but the colors do. So I'm going through first and looking for, I call the stick man, and that one is just sprinkled in here. And so once I get those completed, then I can go through and fill all the rest in with Y's. And of course the M's are over here, but they are a little bit darker, so that does help. So I'm just kind of hunting and pecking right now. But how are you guys? I hope that you had a wonderful week, had a fabulous weekend, and that you were able to get whatever you wanted to get accomplished done. It has been absolutely crazy around here, and we'll get into that, but let me know how it's going with you guys. Is your summer over now? If you have kids or grandkids, are they back in school? And so now you're going to get back to whatever is a normal routine. And so that's kind of what we're doing here, is that Paige is no longer in school, but I am, technically, I teach. And so we have started back yesterday, like I said, of our semester. And I work in the summers too, but the summer is more laid back. We have students who are what I call seasoned, meaning that, they've been to college before, they know the routine, they know, what they need to do, especially in the summer because it's always so busy. But in the fall, we have a lot of new students, a lot of seniors that have graduated, and they're used to teachers holding their hands and telling them this is what you need to do, this is your homework kind of thing. And in college, that is totally different. So we have to kind of start in slow, get them acclimated to, we're not going to sit there and hold your hand like you have had your hand held for the past 12 years. And so now you are going to have to take more control of your education. And so it takes them a little bit to get used to it. So we do try our best to get students, prepared. Also, we have a program that is called Move On When Ready. And students who are in the 11th and 12th grade, they are able to attend the school that I teach for, and they can go for free as long as they are in high school. And so we have quite a few of those. those that also start in the fall. we always have more new starts in the fall than we do in the spring. So had a lot of that I had to take care of yesterday, and just, questions overall. And then there's always something that I look in the classroom, I'm like, oh, this should have been, here, I like this over here better, kind of thing, more of just an aesthetic. And then yesterday I was noticing that I teach accounting, and I have an accounting lab that is linked into my classroom. And for some reason, the link was acting really strange. I went in to take a look at it and decided, nope, this is going to give me a problem for the entire semester. And I am not going to be fighting this program because of one small glitch that I can see that happen. So I decided to go ahead and just delete that out of my classroom. And now I have to reset it up. So that's going to take just a little while, not long. I went ahead and did the first 3 sections, and they're not going to get through that by, today. So then today, later on, I'm going to go ahead and finish getting that done. So I've got a lot on my plate there going on, but it will get done. But it's just absolutely crazy. And I am also having to get back, to my routine, because the summer, like I said, it was really laid back. I was able to diamond paint more, and I am teaching more classes this term. And so that's going to be really busy too. And one class I am teaching, it's a fast-paced class, and it's only 8 weeks instead of 15. So we have to get the same amount in for that class as I do my other classes. And so that's going to be challenging. But just teaching 7 classes, and then I will go immediately into another class when that one's finished. So it will be 7 classes for that school until the end of the year. And then I teach part-time at another school. It's another very large, popular school. I'm not going to give the name for obvious reasons, but I teach one class there. And there's usually 30 to 45 students in my class. And we had a lot going on. Of course, this week it is the last week of their term. And then I also am a team lead there. So I have to go through, and I have certain faculty every term that I have to go in and evaluate. Most of the faculty have been there for at least a year, so they're getting their annual evaluation, and that takes a lot of work for 8 weeks. But it was an honor to be asked if I would like that new position, and so I definitely jumped on it. And I do like it. It's just some weeks are busier than others. And then with it being the last week of the term for that school and the new beginning of the term for my full-time job, it is going to be a week. I can already tell that it is going to be a crazy one. So that pretty much takes care of what's going on at work. I will have to go in on Wednesdays and Thursdays onto campus, and those are going to be very heavy days for me on campus. It's going to be very long days on campus. So I haven't really had classes that are back to back like that and actually in the classroom on just 2 days. So I'm glad that I did it that way, because that's a Y instead of a stick man. So I'm glad that I did it that way, because I get my class lectures over 2 days, and then I have time to do other prep and different things. But they will be very long, very tiring days. I will not get any diamond painting done on those 2 days unless I'm able to come home and do a little bit of diamond painting. And that will be probably on a smaller canvas. Maybe I will work on Paint Gym Minis in the evenings, because we do like to sit outside. It is already getting darker earlier and can't see very well because it just gets so dark earlier, and I don't want to have a big canvas out and then it's a waste. So I think the Pink Gem Minis will be a great time to ramp those up. I've gotten several in and I just have not done hardly any this year. So that's going to be on the radar. And I'm still working on this one. As I mentioned, I should have this finished. I am hoping to have this finished, but I was also hoping to have this one finished before the WIP and Chat today and then start on my other WIPs that I have going. But it has been a week, guys. It has been just crazy. There's a lot that's been going on. There's a lot of changes just all of a sudden. And I kind of knew this would happen because it always does. But we have decided that we're definitely going to move. We've been going back and forth on this. Even before we bought this house, we've only been in this house for 3 years, but we had to stay in the county where we are so that Paige could finish her transition academy and receive her high school diploma. And so we had gotten this house because we were looking for a long time. We were in another house that we did buy, and we had been at the prior house to that. Dave was there way before me. I had been there 9 years. I think he had been there a total of 13, 14 years. That's a 9 and not a stick figure. No, that is a stick figure. Okay. And so we, neither one of us really had moved that much. I hadn't moved. I'd moved one time since I had gotten a divorce, and we had lived in the house where we had raised the kids for 14 years, my ex-husband and I. So we're not ones that typically move, but goodness, over the last few years, we have, and we're going to do it again. But we ended up, the house before where we are now, we bought that house and we wanted to move in a different area because where we were living, it was getting really bad. There were some drugs that were coming in, some houses that were very sketchy, and before we had moved for 2 years before that, we had some major problems with some people that moved in across from us. And there were some things going on in that house. And so that was really scary. We would call in anonymously. They never did anything. So we didn't know if that house was protected or what. But we decided we needed to get out of there for all of our safety, but especially for my daughters. It just had it was a great place, and all of a sudden it wasn't. So we found this other place that was literally 5 minutes from where we were. And we moved in there, and then we realized that that place was an absolute disaster. Things were hidden. And when we got in, started doing some things, it was a fixer-upper. And my husband wanted to do that because he likes to do things and renovate and different stuff. And so we decided that would be a really good house. It was great price. We even had it appraised. We had everything done that we were supposed to, and we even had it inspected, but things were hidden. And so we realized this place isn't going to work for us. And we had already put in a lot of money because we realized that the basement, when my husband opened a wall, because we kept smelling mold, and we realized that when they had put up a wall, they put in a shower, they did not do it correctly. So once we got into all of those issues, then we noticed when we had to open the wall up that there was a major problem with the basement. And so we had to get someone to come in and to correct the walls, line them up properly, get them stationary and secure. And so that was over $15,000. And my husband's like, you know what, I'm done. And this had been the course of like 2 years. And so anyway, to make a long story halfway short, we left there because we were just worried that we were going to get sick. We were spending way too much money on that house, and we thought we better get out while we can. And we were able to sell that house to a company that buys homes here, and they will just give you a cash offer. We were so worried that we were going to just lose our shirts on that house, and we didn't. We actually broke even. I was really surprised that they paid us as much as they did. So then we found this house, and it was still in the district. We looked and looked, and this house is not my style. It wasn't whenever we bought it, but I told my husband, you know, that's fine. I like the basement, and that was going to be, or it is, my room. So that's what we did. And then we realized that over here, there are so many planes constantly. It's all night, all the time. And we want to get to the mountains. And so we decided that we were going to go ahead and work towards that goal. So we have been, and we are hoping that we can go into the area that we want to, which is further into the mountains, in a year or two, because my husband is just waiting on this other position. He is now doing that position while one of his co-workers is out on sick leave, but his co-worker keeps saying that he is going to retire, and if he does, that's going to be a really good location for my husband and I to move to. But if he doesn't retire where my husband is located now, it is going to be another 40 miles for him to have to drive further every day to work, which would mean that he would be driving 100 miles one way. And no, we're not going to do that. So we decided, we've been talking and talking, and we've been looking, and we were going to purchase a house that was still in the North Georgia mountains, but it wasn't in the location that we want for a permanent house. But it's still going to get us closer. It gets us closer to where I used to live. And we've been looking, and then we decided, you know, do we really want to buy a house there? And we're only going to buy one more house. And that's going to be, you know, a permanent house. We will not be able to move into the area that we want to. But we don't want to go ahead and take a chance, because usually when we take a chance, it always goes south. It's never good. So we didn't want to just take a chance on, are we going to be able to do this? Is he actually going to retire like he says he's going to? Is he going to come back, maybe work a couple more years, and then Dave's going to be totally screwed? So we decided that we were going to sell our house and we're going to rent a house. We've been looking for rentals now for a couple of months, just looking. Nothing, you know, we were just on the back burner. If we find, maybe we'll find something. We just want to see what was out there. And they were awful, absolutely awful. But we came across this community, and it's all rentals, and it's homes. It's not apartments or townhomes. It's actual homes, but it's pretty much on a 0 lot line, or very limited, very, very small lot line. And my husband, I didn't think would ever go for it, but we've looked 3 times now in this area, and we found a house that we think will work very well for us. We've measured, and we put an application in on Sunday, and we got approved yesterday. I didn't think we would have a problem. Well, I knew we wouldn't. So if we have a problem, then there is a problem. But it's brand new. I love when I walked in, you can still smell the newness. You can smell the wood, which I know sounds really weird, but I worked for a home builder for several years, and I would love to go into the new homes and you just smell all the newness. And that was one of my favorite things about my job, just getting to see the new homes. And this house has a lot of, most of the modern conveniences, everything that you would need. It is a very modern home. It is very open concept. And that's what I wanted. And we haven't gotten that yet. So I'm looking forward to just that, seeing if that's what I really like, and not having a yard to have to deal with. They take care of the yard for us. It's part of the rent. And I don't know if they do the backyard. I haven't found out about that yet, if they will go ahead and take care of the backyard for us or not. The backyard would be like 3 or 4 little pushes, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do the backyard. And I was concerned about Molly. I was looking for a house with a yard. And for those of you that are new, Molly is our almost 4-year collie. She loves outside. She loves to run. And so we had to think of her and our cat as well. Our cat is just indoors, so it wasn't as bad for her. But this house has a small yard. It has a fenced-in yard, but it's wrought iron. So I am a little nervous about that. She's never tried to jump before. She does mind. For the most part, she minds very well. So we're just going to have to watch her and see about the fence. If I have to, we can get an invisible fence to put close to that fence so she won't get close to it. And I really want to take her and have her get some formal training. We haven't done that yet. But she is my youngest daughter. She is her emotional support dog. And Paige is just turned 23, so we just had a birthday for her. And because Molly is an emotional support dog, we don't have to pay a deposit for her, non-refundable pet deposit. And they charge you $72 a month extra if you have animals. So, for dogs. And so we don't have to pay that either. And so that is definitely good, because the rent is it's crazy. I cannot fathom that we are going to pay quite a bit more in rent than we are on our mortgage. But as we keep telling each other, it is just a year or so. And most of the people, we looked around, and most of the people there are professionals. And it takes quite a bit to qualify to get into this place. So I thought, well, if they're able to qualify, there's not going to be like a lot of young, people who going to just, party and they're, going to college or whatever. These are mostly older, and, some do have kids. We saw a couple of kids out there, but they also have and I just spilled drills. We will have a pool up there, which Paige is absolutely excited about. I don't know if we'll use that pool because it's a community pool, but they also have a really nice gym there for people that live there, and it's state of the art. And it's new. You can walk in there and it's like, oh, nobody's really been in here to use either. But there's not a lot of people out there yet. It is going to be an adjustment because, we're used to having a larger house. We're used to having our own space, which we will there too. But I'm having to give up my room in the basement, which I am really going to miss. And I have so much craft stuff. It's just ridiculous. But I am going through, as I am boxing up my craft things, I am purging a lot of things that I'm not going to ever use. I haven't used in years. I have a pile for donations. I have thrown a bunch of things away. I went through a bunch of clothes about 2 weeks ago of mine and Paige's, so that's done. But the problem that we're having is that with this house and this rental company, once you are approved and you sign the application, you have to sign the lease within 14 days or you lose that house. So we only have 14 days. We are not going to have this house ready to put on the market in 14 days, which is fine. We were hoping that we could get it very close as time frame, but these are going pretty quickly on these houses. They do have a lot of houses that are open. They're building more as we speak, but there was one that was on the end. It had a larger yard, and with it being on the end, you don't have anybody on the one end of you, and then next to you, and then also there's a side yard that goes with that particular house. And so even though that side yard is not fenced in, I can still walk Molly over there because I can put her in the grass. It's still really hot on the pavement, and I'm afraid that she's going to get her paws burned. So we can put her over there if we want to take her out of the yard. I do plan on this fall to take her walking. They have a dog park there. I'm going to try that out. And we did get a 4-bedroom, and there's only 3 of us. So Paige, of course, will have her bedroom. Dave and I'll have ours. And then the other 2 bedrooms will be allocated for mine and Paige's books. We have a lot of books, especially Paige. So we're going to put 4 bookshelves in there. And then anything else that we can store in there, we're going to put all my diamond paintings. And if you have not seen my latest video, go check it out. It is on things that I regret. And one was when I thought I'm going to regret not buying these diamond paintings. I'm going to regret not having a stash. And so now I have this huge stash. And so now it's like, okay, we had this big stash. Now what are we going to do now that we're moving? And so we're going to use one of the bedrooms just to put my diamond paintings in. I am going to get a bookshelf. That's probably going to have to be 3 bookshelves. Get those in and then put my diamond paintings in there. I have a perfect place now that my husband built in the basement, but it's he had to secure it to walls, and so of course we don't want to do that being in a rental. But he's like, I got the perfect solution. And then I was showing him what I had seen from other people that did it, that had stashes, didn't know how to put them, and so he's like, that'll be really good. And so we're going to go to Lowe's and pick that up. But he wants me to focus on my craft room and to get it boxed up as soon as I can. Of course, I can't do it during the day when I'm working. So on the weekends and then maybe an hour or so in the evenings before dinner, I'm going to be boxing things up. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, that's a badge reel. I knew something. That one has a tab on it. I'm taking that one out. It has just a little tab. I am going to decide what I need to use for the next month or so, because I don't want to have to rush and get everything unpacked. I am pulling out a couple of diamond paintings that I want to work on for the next couple of months, in addition to what I am finishing up now. And I'm definitely going to be buying less because I'm not going to have a place to store it. And on top of that, since this is going to cost more, and until we get the house sold, we're going to have a mortgage and we're going to have rent. Which we can do it, but I hate the thought of it. And I really hate the thought of renting too. Not that anything is wrong with renting, not at all. I've rented many, many times before. But just the fact that when you rent, you have to be really careful. You can't do things you want to. But the kitchen in this place that we're going to be renting is super nice. It's actually larger than the kitchen that I have now. But I've been telling you guys for a long time that, I want to downsize. I am just determined I'm going to downsize, blah, 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 blah. And now it's like, oh my dear goodness, we are actually going to be downsizing. Look at this place. Look at what we have. What are we going to do? So now, of course, I'm starting to freak out and think, what was I thinking about wanting to downsize? Tiny home? Huh, there's no way. I was all about we can do a tiny home, but no, I do not see that happening. But we are losing the basement, which is a big part of what we are struggling with, especially with all of the crap that I have. But we can do it. We can purge, and we're also going to rent storage, and it's going to be one of the storage places that it's climate controlled, and so we're going to put some things in there. None of my crafts will go in there. They will have to go in the house, but this is the best time to start purging. I'm going to do it. I know I can do it. I am super motivated. I'm also going to implement to kind of stop buying. I haven't really bought that much lately, but I am going to complete 4 diamond paintings, and then as part of my motivation and as part of my, I guess, reward, I am going to then be able to buy another diamond painting if I want to. I just shook you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to buy another diamond painting if I want to. I'm going to start working on this side over here now. So make sure you guys can see it okay. And I'm also going to be getting a couple of PR packages in. That's something that's not going to change. Let's see. I don't remember what I'm working on now. That's something that's not going to change, but I'm not counting those as part of my purchase. And I might even say, okay, I'm getting these as a PR, and because of that, that is going to be my upcoming diamond painting that I was going to purchase. I don't know yet, but I do know that I do not need any more diamond paintings. I want to work on my stash. And most of the ones that I have does show on the end of the box what is in the box. So hopefully the ones that don't, I can just take a picture, put that on the end of the box so I can see what I have. If not, I'm just going to grab a box whenever I decide that I want to work on something, and I'm going to see what the size is, and then I'm just going to pull it out, and that's what I'm going to work on. That will be probably the easiest. I think that it's going to be a little rough on our dog, and I hate that, but we looked to make sure that we at least found something that had a small yard. It's not really the yard that's going to be a problem for her. She loves her room. She has a room in the basement, and she has her crate in there. She has a bed that's on the floor too, next to her crate, and that's where she is the happiest, when she goes to bed. Now, she's gotten to where, since we've lost Zoe, she is finally coming upstairs. Now she doesn't want to go back downstairs, which I guess is a good thing, except for at night. At night, and when she starts to get overstimulated and just like a child, she needs a nap, then that's when we put her back downstairs. So I'm a little concerned with that, but there is a good size, not huge, but a good size laundry room in this new house. And it has some space, some extra space on the other side of where the washer and dryer goes. And so I think that might be a good place for her, because she likes a very dark room when she sleeps at night. And so I don't think that her crate and her bed will fit in there. And she loves her crate. She'll sleep in her crate more than she sleeps in just in the bed. She has a bed, a real comfy bed in her crate too. But she just really likes her crate. So I don't know if we're going to have problems with her or not. She's going to have the opportunity to sleep upstairs with us on the floor. We'll put another bed up there. She may want to be in Paige's room. I seriously doubt it. She likes to be alone. So I'm hoping that she doesn't give us a fit or she gets really upset. She's still getting over Zoe. She still goes to the back door and waits on her and looks so sad. And she doesn't do it as much anymore. But I just hope that this isn't going to be too much for her. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It's exciting, but it's also scary just to go and sell our house, get a rental. And again, it's not the end where we're going to be in a rental forever. And nothing is wrong with a rental. We could buy a house if we wanted to. And a lot of people that we know, they love to rent. They would rather rent than buy because that way they can just move whenever they want to. They're not tied down to, we've got to sell this house. And so we are hoping to put the house on the market in the next 2 weeks. Dave has been doing a lot of things in the house just for a while, just so whenever we decide it's what we want to do, that we're ready. So that's definitely been a good thing. But definitely going to downsize, and I'm hoping that I can use, a lot of pretty baskets and things that I can put some stuff in. I think that our garage is going to be pretty full of my husband's tools and things. He has a lot of tools, just like I have a lot of crafting stuff. His tools are just crazy, so he's going to be renting a place for that as well as using the garage. So we won't put our cars in the garage. They'll just be out, which is fine. And I did not mention, but the house is a 2-story. We really didn't care as a rental if it was a 2-story. But when we end up purchasing a house, I want a ranch on a basement, or at least to have the master on the main and the other bedrooms can be upstairs. And we've decided we really want and need a basement. We are really going to miss our basement. But we can do it. And it's not that small, the house. The floor plan says that it's 2,000 square feet, which that sounds like a lot. But we have 2,700 square feet in this house without the basement. But this house that we're in now, it has a lot of wasted space, and they didn't waste any space in this new place. So hopefully everything will work out. Paige is actually excited about it. Living over here has been okay, but we are close to what was a private airport, and the city has bought that airport. They've now converted it into an international airport, and it's for small planes and corporate jets. So it's not like a passenger airport like you would go to actually go get on a plane, someone go somewhere, but it's a smaller airport. But now the military is starting to use it to do some training. And sometimes in the middle of the night, we have these huge planes that are just hovering right over what feels like our house. And it's really the subdivision, the area, but it wakes us up. We can't sleep. And so where we're moving to, it is not in an air flight. We checked all of that out. So that's been really crazy, and we're just over it. And it's so busy here. It's always congested in our area. It's growing down the street. our some neighbors that we knew had 80 acres, and they've been there since the mid 80s, I think, and they decided to retire. They sold all of their acreage and their house, which came with a pond and a pool, and now they've been clearing that land off since I think March, maybe April, somewhere around there. And they just put a sign up that it's going to be a new community. And I checked to see, because I'm all about the new home building since I worked there. I was in accounting, but I still knew what was going on with the home building. I had to, obviously. But I looked at it and I told my husband, I said, that's going to be either townhomes or zero lot lines. I cannot tell yet because they haven't put any of the footers or anything up, but it is obvious it is not going to be homes that's going to have large lots. I can just tell by the way that they're putting in some of the drains. And so I looked on the website of the home builder, and I can't tell yet, but it's going to be quite a few homes, no matter how they're going to do it. It's going to be a lot of homes on 80 acres, not far from us. I mean, we have to go that way to get out of here. You either go that way or you turn left and then you go around another way. But it is going to be more traffic over here, more congestion. And so we just decided we're just tired of all of the growth and we want to move out. Where we are moving, there's not a lot out there yet, but hopefully by the time that we find a house, we know what we want to do for our final retirement, and then we will be able to go further into the mountains. But we're still in North Georgia mountains, and one of the best parts about where we are going to be moving is it is about 30 minutes, give or take, from our new place to my best friend's house. And so we're really excited about that. So we've been talking about it, and I used to live close to where she has moved to. She didn't live over there. She lived a little bit further out, but I'm getting closer back to where my old house was, which I had lived in that area for over 16 years. I love that area. I miss it, but it has grown like crazy now too. So we don't want to stay there either, but it will be a good start of keep moving closer to our end goal. So I am excited, but with that being said, I may have less diamond paintings, I may have less content, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my videos because I haven't really had a finish. I only had one finish in July. Well, two if you count my summer on the section of my dragon seasons, and that was it. So I don't really have any kitting up to do. I don't have any kitting down to do. But I was really excited. I was nervous about the video that I put up last week on Thursday because I thought, is this going to be a negative that I'm saying? Is it going to impact people watching my channel? And it wasn't anything bad. It was just things that I regret about diamond painting. And I thought this is something different that I can do on my channel. I didn't really have any other content, and I thought this might be good. And that one has blown up for me. And I've gotten quite a few subs from it. So for those of you that are new, thank you so much. And of course, you guys that have been around, I am just so appreciative of all of you and am just so excited for the community that we are building here. And my channel is continuing to grow. I'm moving up towards that 3,000 subscribers. It's probably going to take a little while. but I'm moving up, which I am excited about that. But that video was fun too, and it was kind of enlightening, to be honest. I kept thinking, and the more that I thought about it, the more I could think of different things that I thought, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, and why did I do this? And then you guys were so nice and kind about it, and I didn't get anything negative. Not one comment was negative about what I said of why I regret certain things, and FOMO, and the fact that I've purchased so many diamond paintings. Am I going to ever finish them? And the pins and the trays and, all the things. So I really enjoyed your guys' comments, and a lot of you said some things I didn't even think about. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I kind of regret that now too. So I really like the messages you guys have put out there. I have not responded to all of them. I am going to do that hopefully today, but I have glanced through there as they come through my emails. I've seen them, and I just thought that was really cool. So I may do something else like that again. So if you guys would like to see that, let me know. I'm trying to see where we are here, and I cannot tell. The time is covered. So I know I've been talking a while, but I'll just go over here. We'll work on this side some. So I am looking forward to the future. It's kind of scary, the unknowns. And my husband is so funny because he's been so indecisive. Well, let's look at a new house. Do you want to stay in this particular area? That's not what we had talked about. It's not quite in the mountains, but it's more city, but you're still in the mountains. And we thought about just looking for a house and we can stay there. And then we said, no, we don't want to do that. Then we decided, well, there's another place that's in between where we're going to be living, plus where we were talking about purchasing. And that's another small town. And we started looking at homes there. And then my husband's like, we can do that too, but are we really going to be happy? Because we've been talking about, those are together. We've been talking about that we really wanted to move to this one place, and are we going to be happy not going there? And so we decided, we may not be. So that's one of the reasons why we also decided to rent, because we don't know what we're going to do in the future. But when he makes up his mind, that's what I was trying to get at. When he makes up his mind, it's like, okay, once he makes up his mind, it is done. Just like with this rental. And now he's like, well, how soon can you get all of your things packed downstairs? And not even thinking about, we got the kitchen, we have other things to do. Paige's room, I have to help her, all the books, all the things. And my best friend sent me a text, and she's like, let me know whenever I can come to help you. She said, and help you move again. And I'm like, yeah, I got it. But she is excited that we're going to be closer. And we usually meet at this one area since I've moved here. And so that is like 10 minutes from where we're going to be. So I think that's pretty cool. So we'll be able to still meet where we normally do. I'll just be a lot closer than her. So we are definitely preparing for that. Nothing else really happened over the week. Well, a couple of things. On Friday of last week, Paige and I went to the mall. She wanted to look for a Halloween or a fall candle at Bath and Body Works. And so the only Bath and Body Works that we have around here is at the mall. Well, apparently I have just bad omen to go to the mall. Now, our mall has gotten really bad. It's really sad because the mall used to be, a really busy place. They had some, really nice places in there. They had some restaurants, some really nice shops. And now the mall is struggling. I think they have filed for bankruptcy. And when Madison was home, we went to the mall, and the air wasn't working very well, so we got really hot. And I thought, well, something must be wrong with their air. Well, no, nothing's wrong with the air, because when we went this time, same thing. Now, Bath and Body Works had it going on. They had fans or something that they had connected. I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but their shop was nice and cool. I guess it has to be because of all their candles. But everywhere else in the mall is extremely hot. So I said, we'll go to Bath and Body Works, and then from there, we will just leave. And luckily, where we're moving, there's a Bath and Body Works that is in an outdoor mall that's very close by, and so we'll do that. Well, the last time I went to the mall, my car would not start. So we were stuck in the parking lot for a couple hours waiting on a tow truck. My husband came to look at my car, and he said, I don't know what's wrong with it. So that was when I went to the mall the last time. Well, this time we went to the mall, we were leaving, we went through the food court, and they're not crowded, because there's nobody that goes to our mall. There were some people that were just sitting at the food court, and we were just walking. I guess I was kind of daydreaming now that I think back to it. I don't know what happened, but the floor, it was flat. There was nothing on the floor that I could tell. And all of a sudden, as I was just kind of thinking, had, thoughts going through my head, I was walking, and I felt myself falling. Like spiraling down. And I thought, what the heck? And so I tried to catch myself. And when I did, I don't know what happened there. I lunged forward and I fell. I fell face forward on the concrete. My face didn't hit the concrete, but my elbows and my hands did. And it wasn't just, oh, I just fell, it's fine. I actually was hurting. I thought, oh, I just scratched my elbow, scraped it on this concrete. Not one person from the food court. And I know they had to have seen it. And I was embarrassed too. I thought, gosh, I look like this old lady who can't even walk. And not one person from the food court came over there to say, are you okay? Can I help you? Nothing. And then Paige, of course, started crying, Mom, are you okay? And so I'm like, I'm fine. I had to calm her down as I was sitting on the concrete thinking, okay, this is not good. And thank goodness I didn't break anything. I have osteoporosis, and I thought, well, that is a plus. My bone density medication, it must be helping. But I have this awful bruise and a place that is looking kind of rough on my left elbow. Then yesterday on my wrist, on my left hand, a huge yellow bruise has popped up. And that's a hand that I had surgery on. And my knee is hurting really bad. So I don't know, I didn't break anything because I would have known by now. But it's hard for me to use my left hand. It's hard for me to even raise my hand. It's kind of hard for me to walk right now because of my knee. But I don't know I don't know if there was something that was sticky there. I don't know what happened, but I just stumbled and fell. And I've never done that, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I was just maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe Paige tripped me because Paige tends to walk right on top of me. I don't know. But I came home and my husband's like, I wasn't going to say anything to him because he would worry. And so he saw my elbow and he's like, what did you do? And so I told him. And he's like, did you tell anybody at the mall? And I said, no. Why should I tell somebody at the mall? I'm the one that fell. There wasn't any, obstacles in the area that I was walking in. Maybe it was sticky. I don't know. But I said, I just wanted to get out of there. I wanted to get home so I could ice up my hand. And it still hurts. And so I'm trying to box things up we are going to the doctor today because I think Paige has the sinus infection. She has horrible allergies. It doesn't usually start until September, but allergy season apparently is starting early because a lot of people are getting sick, and I have been struggling with that too. So we have a doctor's appointment together. We're not able to see our doctor. We're seeing a PA that is new to their practice, or if they're not new to the practice, they were in a different location because they have 9 locations where we go. And so I'm seeing somebody new. So I'm going to ask them, I know I'm here for a sinus infection. Can you just take a glance at my elbow just to tell me I bruised it, everything is good, no worries on anything, but it looks really bad. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting so old I can't walk. And I wasn't hurting or anything. It's just all of a sudden, it surprised me. All of a sudden, I was walking and I'm like, okay, what's happening? So I thought that was really strange, but all is good. I am fine. So that happened on Friday. And that's really it. That's happened, just, working. Paige is supposed to work today, but she called in yesterday and she's like, I'm so sorry I can't come in. I'm sick. And so they understood. And Madison is starting her orientation today for nursing school. So she is excited, but she is so nervous. And I'm like, why are you nervous? You do this every day at work, just on a different scale, because she is a certified nursing assistant. And I'm like, why are you so nervous? I'm just afraid I'm going to fail, and I can't fail. And I'm like, you're not going to fail. She gets so nervous when it comes to testing that she knows the material, she knows it very well, but she gets nervous, and then she ends up not doing as well as she could have or should sometimes because the nerves get the best of her. And I was the same way, so I totally get it. I know what she's going through on that one. And it's hard. So I'm trying to tell her, give her some test tips, tell her some things I tell my students. So hopefully she will be okay. I'm hoping that the jitters will go away once she has her, she has her orientation today. I think that would, I'm trying to get these down in here. This is really tight down through here, and I can't, that one is super tight. There. Shouldn't say tight, it's snug, and that's how it should be. It's not so tight that it pops. I did have some problems with popping at the beginning of this when I was working on the top end. This is one of the very few canvases that I work from top to bottom. I usually work from bottom to top, and I kind of liked it. It was nice because I could actually see it coming together more than I do going from bottom to top. So diamond painting wise, I am hoping to get this one finished. What I do in my craft room, or what I plan on doing, is when I start to really dive into it and start boxing up, when I want to take a break, I'm going to sit down. I am going to also have a timer for maybe 30 minutes or so, and then I will work on this kit and then get back to it. So I give myself a little bit of a break, but I've got to force myself to get up and not say, oh, 30 more minutes, or let me finish this color. Let me finish this symbol. Do you guys do that? I do that quite often. And it's like, okay, I want to get this symbol finished. I want to get the section finished. I don't want to leave the section, out. And then I look 2 hours later. I'm like, oh, where did the time go? And that's one of the reasons why I don't diamond paint that much before bed, because if I did, I probably wouldn't get in bed till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I am running really low, guys, on several of these colors. I'm getting a little bit nervous because I hope I don't run out. Now, I do have some spare drills. I do keep my spare drills. I haven't even looked to see if I need to get some more wax. That's part of the problem. I haven't even looked to see if I have any of these colors. I'm going to wait and see if I run out and then see if I have the colors. I think I may do that before I box up my spare drills. And I told my husband last night, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and box those up. I'm going to put tape all over the box. Hopefully the box will not open. And so he said, I'm going to get some totes this weekend, and we'll put those in a tote, your spare drills, and then we will label them really good and put on there what is in that box, which I do anyway. And that way we will be careful with that box, because if that box opens up, I've already decided I am not going to go through and try to pick out all the drills and then find out where they go. I will just start all over on my spare drills. And that will be fine too, because I only keep the spare drills in case I do run out. I do keep Ever Moments because I decided those are the drills I'm going to use on any cross stitch conversion. So I do keep those separate. I don't have very many of those yet. So I may just put that box in the floorboard of my car, or get Paige to hold it for me while I am driving to the new house. And I don't keep Ever Moments round drills separate, only the squares. So that might help some too. So just because we're moving doesn't mean I'm going to stop making videos. That's not going to happen. I'll just have to figure out a new setup, maybe, some tried and true videos that may be okay. I may have to redo them because of sound or whatnot. But I would think the sound's going to be better because I'm in a basement. Even though I do use a microphone, I am in a basement, and so maybe the sound will be better there. We shall see. As for videos that are coming up this week, last week I did not do a video on Saturday. I was going to, and after my fall on Friday, I just did not feel like sitting and diamond painting, just sitting up, and I just really didn't feel that great. And then we also went on Saturday looking at the area, make sure it's where we want to lease. And so my Saturday went pretty quickly. Friday, I was busy finishing up, wrapping up my classes before students had access to the classrooms. So Saturday, I didn't do it. And then came Monday. So hopefully this week, I'm hoping to get back onto a schedule since I am now back to work. I like to have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is what I really like to be able to do. And that's what I was doing. I did 4 a week for a while. I just don't have enough content for 4 right now anyway. And I don't have really anything that I can think of that would be really good. I don't want to make videos just for the sake of saying, oh yeah, I got a video out there. If it's not good, there's not any point in it. I do have some ideas that I want to do that I kind of am percolating on those. I have a video that I think I'm going to do on coloring on either Thursday or Saturday of this week. And I haven't done that before on my channel, but I thought that might be fun just to break it up a little bit and something different. So, we'll see how that works out if I end up doing that. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So if you have not subscribed, please consider clicking on that subscribe button. And if you would click on the like button before you leave, that greatly helps the channel. I really do appreciate all of your support and trying to get my videos out there for everybody. And I do have a couple of unboxings that I need to get to. So you may see an unboxing this week as well. I am going to stop here. I think I've gotten quite a bit done on her top. And Molly's upstairs barking. There are people that are walking. And when she sees them, she has to let everybody know this is her house and she does not like it. So I'm going to turn the actual light off here on my light pad just so you can see. I think she turned out really cute. I've gotten that much done. I have just a little bit left. I need to fill in here. That's all filled in. It looks like it's not when I'm looking on the camera, but those are all special drills. I do have this one little section here, those two sections to fill out. And then her actual top will be finished. Her skin is almost done now. And she looks kind of orange if you look close up. If you step back, she looks really good. But the thing that I love the most about this painting are her eyes. I think her eyes are just stunning. Her face just looks so good. I love her hair, how it's dangling into her face. Her little friend here, I'm still working on him a little bit. So what I have left is this over here. That is a couple more bubbles. If you can see through the paper here, and then the rest of her hair. Her hair does take a long time to do. So hopefully I will be able to sit down and spend some time on these last sections and then finish up this section here that I have to finish, and then she will be done. And then once this one's done, I'm gonna go back to my mermaid cavern and get that one finished. I'm very close to finishing that one also. So I should have 2 finishes, hopefully, by the end of this month. And then I want to get back to my Cheryl Baker. I've been wanting to work on that one for a long time. I am absolutely loving all of the dark grays in that painting. I am on the second row of that one. So I will get back to that one once these other 2 are finished. Thanks again for joining me. Hope that you have a great rest of your week. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.